Before we get into today's video, if you're new, you like the NBA, high school, college, really if you love basketball in general, I really think that you would like this channel. So if you are new, feel free to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video I upload at a new daily basis. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so liking, subscribing, commenting, doing things to get interactions so YouTube will recommend my videos more would be a big help to help me reach that goal of 1,000 subscribers. I know it sounds selfish, but it's just sadly how these things work. It's how it works. I don't agree with it, but it is how it works. But with that being said, let's talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo and what I believe he would be had he grown up in America. Over the course of NBA history, we have seen many great players, from Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain to Kareem to Larry and Magic, to Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon, to Shaq and Iverson, to Kobe and LeBron, to Steph and KD. And a player who is becoming the face not only of this current generation of basketball, but also the future generation of basketball, is Giannis Antetokounmpo. The 6'11", 242-pound phenom, who's likely about to win his second MVP, and he's only 25 years old. A player who is one of the most dominant in NBA history without a consistent jump shot. A player who got me the most views on a video on my channel so far. And I also made another video comparing him to Scooby Doo, but that's besides the point. However, this isn't a video talking about how great Giannis is, because I feel like I've already made that video twice already. This is a video talking about the hypothetical of Giannis growing up in America. How would his career look if instead of playing at YMCA level leagues in Greece, he was playing on the EYBL circuit? How would his career look if instead of playing in low-level Greek leagues, he was playing at a top prep school in the States? And you might be saying, wait, isn't his motivation to be great the fact that he came up from nothing and grinded his way to the top? Yes, that is true, so I made it interesting. Giannis is still born and is from Greece, but doesn't that defeat the purpose of him growing up in America? Not necessarily. I give him this circumstance of him coming to America in high school. This is very similar to what happened with a recent top-level prospect in Jonathan Kuminga, who grew up in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and moved to the States in high school. So let's say that Giannis still has the motivation and drive despite being at a prep school now. And this is because, of course, he doesn't take anything for granted because he knows the life that he once had, and he wants to make his life better for himself and his family, and being at the prep schools and playing on the circuits is going to get him recognition, to go to college, to make it to the league. You get the whole idea. And many of you may know that Giannis did have a growth spurt. So he's going to be around like 6'8", 6'9", 190 pounds throughout high school, which is still actually pretty impressive for a player at his position at small forward. He would enroll at Montverde Academy entering his sophomore year. How will he be able to enroll in a school like this? Well,
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
How he got to the United States isn't important right now. What is important, though, is that it was clear that he was really raw, but his athletic tools and his motivation and motor that was non-stop on go were going to take him somewhere, and scouts realized that early. The Montverde coaching staff would focus on his jump shot and handle, which were clearly the two biggest weaknesses in his game, and the things he needed to work on most as a small forward. It would catch the attention, though, of scouts, and they would rank him as the 15th best player in the ESPN 60, because despite being really raw, he showed a lot of potential to be something special one day once he put it all together. And he would make strides the summer before his junior year, showing out on the EYBL circuit, impressing scouts with his improved shooting and handle. It was still clear that he needed to work on it, but it was a lot better than it was when he first got to the States. And entering his junior year, Giannis would jump all the way up to the 5th spot in the ESPN 60. And after an impressive junior season, he would help Montverde to a national title. And another impressive summer, and lo and behold, improved handles even more to the point where they knew it was now strength. And Giannis Antetokounmpo was now the consensus top player in the country. He had offers from schools like Duke, in Kentucky, in North Carolina, and UCLA. It's to name a few. Of course, he would be named a McDonald's All-American as well. And he would choose to play at Kentucky under Coach Calipari because of his reputation as someone who is about the athletes and doing what's best for them, and his ability to put players in the NBA. He was joined by the second best recruit in the nation, Nerlens Noel. And in a relatively weak draft year, Giannis was considered the consensus number 1 pick going into that season. And he would hold that title throughout the season, averaging 18 points a game, 7 rebounds a game, and 5 assists per game as a freshman, winning National Freshman of the Year, and going first overall as the no-brainer first overall pick to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And what would happen in his NBA career? I still think that he would have his motivation and drive, knowing that nothing is taken for granted. I wonder how him and Kyrie would fit together. I think that Giannis, being more polished now, would win Rookie of the Year. He was actually pretty solid in his actual rookie year, and this was coming from a guy whose experience was only in Greek level leagues that were not really that impressive. And a rookie in real life, he averaged 6.8 points a game, 4 rebounds a game, 2 assists per game. I think in his new rookie year, he would average probably around 17 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, 4 assists per game. This is actually close to what he did in his third year in the league. But I think that he'll be more polished and more well-rounded as a player than he was, because he had better coaching staff throughout high school, YPL, college, all of that. So I do think that he would be a 17, 7, and 4 guy. And I think he would go from there. And then his real life fourth season would be his second season in this new scenario, because again, he's more polished. So in the second season, he would make a jump to 23, 9 and 5. And then the year after that, 27, 10 and 5. And then the year after that, 28, 12 and 6. And 29, 13 and 6. It would keep on going up and up and up. I think we'd be closer to seeing what Giannis' ceiling would look like had he gone to the States and had he gone to college and all that stuff. I do think that we would see a lot closer to his peak already. I think that's something we would see. Now, the one thing is, because he's playing with Kyrie Irving now, how does that work? I think early on, Kyrie Irving does take a lot of the scoring load, but I do think over time, eventually, I think even he would realize that Giannis is the better player. Of course, we know what happened with Kyrie, and he left because he wanted his own role, and rightfully so. But I wonder how him and Giannis would work out together. How does it affect LeBron's free agency, seeing a player that's as good as Giannis? Would they make the trade for Kevin Love? Would they even be in position to? Because would the Cavs get the first overall pick if Giannis is playing for them? And is this new and improved Giannis that's gotten all this training from coaches in the States? It's a whole bunch of things to think about when you talk about this whole hypothetical with Giannis. And it is interesting because it's such a unique career, the actual career itself, of course, because he comes out of nowhere in this low-level Greek league, has little to no tape on him, goes 15th overall, has a really solid rookie year, and improves on that. And then in the second year, he proves he can be a starter in the league. And in his third year, this guy could be an all-star. And then by his fourth year, we're this guy could be an all-NBA guy. And then by his fifth year, this guy could be an MVP. And then we're at the point now where we're talking about him as maybe the best player in basketball, and potentially the face of the league. And I wonder if someone with that skill set and that mindset and those physical traits, coming to America as a sophomore with the physical and the mindset that he has, what would that be under American coaching? Would he work on his jump shot more, work on strength and conditioning more, work on his handle more? What would that player be like? It's really something to think about, and I just really enjoyed making this video. It's one of the most fun times I've had making a video. And I would like to know what you think Giannis would be had he grown up in America, or come to America in high school, more than likely. I'll probably say grow up in America, but you know what I mean. What would you think of Giannis had he done this? What would his career look like to you? Would he still have that motivation and drive? I still think he would. You may think otherwise. It's okay. We can disagree on things. It's not my job to make you guys agree with everything I say. You are supposed to form your own opinions. But I would just be really interested in what you think his career would look like had he come to the States in high school. So yeah, that's all I really gotta say. And I had a lot of fun making this one, guys. If you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much. It means so much to me, guys. You guys don't understand. But again, thank you. Like and subscribe if you're new. Feel free to leave feedback in the comments section below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.